Hello lovely dancers, my name is Aisha and welcome back to belly dance tutorials. In today's class I'm gonna go over some more advanced and complex hip movements. Before I begin, I would like to thank you all for subscribing to my channel. I reached a new milestone in the YouTube world, which is 600 subscribers. I started this channel 2 years ago when the pandemic started and everything slowed down. I had a lot of fun and satisfaction in creating these tutorials, and I hope this helped you a lot and you practiced, okay? So I'm back at filming. Life is busy again with the easiness of the pandemic. I'm back to in-person events, shows, competitions, students. But I will keep posting tutorials on this channel and I hope you like them. Also, let me know what you would like to know about. Write down your suggestions and comments and things that you would like me to go over, and I will try to do so as soon as I can. But let's get going. I hope you practiced, okay, during these 2 years, and I hope you went over most of my tutorials because it's gonna get a little harder from now on. I'm gonna advance to more complex technique, and I will present several movements and combinations that are more advanced, more complex, and a little bit trickier, but they are so satisfying, and you will feel so good when you will get them down. All right, so more advanced hip technique, that will be the theme for the next few classes, I guess. And I will start with the first one, and I will show you first what I want to do, and the movement looks like this. It looks a little funny without music, but we'll get to music in a moment. I don't know how to call this movement. I've seen it a lot since years ago, and I was trying to do it by myself, and for a long time I had no idea how to do it. I mean, I couldn't figure out all the components and all the breakdown of the movement, but it's used a lot by Egyptian dancers, and not only, from Golden Age era up to these days to modern Egyptian folkloric styles and just any raksharki style. I will break it down for you because relatively recently I figured out all the components and I'm so happy to break it down to you and to show you what's involved. So first of all, I will link down some of the previous classes that will help you practice this move, the foundation, some fundamental movements that you will actually need to master and be very comfortable before you get to this one. But I will go over some of them really quickly as a reminder. So first of all, you remember the undulations from top to down. So, and this is just a typical undulation from top to down. I'm gonna turn this way and I'm gonna use more of the lower part. Yeah, and I have a tutorial on this and how to move your pelvis with this movement. I have that. Okay, next one. We're gonna do the undulation only on half body. I call it half body undulation, or I call it one side undulation. So what happens now, we have the weight on one leg, the other one is just for support, and we're gonna do the undulation, but with emphasis on this side, on the side that's unsupported or unweighted. Yeah. So it'll look uneven, so there is more emphasis on this side. Let's try it on the other side. So the weight is on this leg, this is just for support, and I'm gonna do the undulation only on this side. The other side will move, of course, because they are connected, but the emphasis is on one side. And notice how I go from small to big, from contraction to expansion. We are gonna use this a lot in this video today. Now let's switch the weight from one leg to the other. So we are gonna do it alternatively from one leg to the other. So it will show like this: one leg, other leg. I'm pretty sure you've seen this a lot. So the technique for this is just an undulation, but with the weight on one leg only. So we have that down. Next movement I want to go over is the figure 8 on the up, or Maya on the up, hips figure 8 on the up, and this can be a little bigger and outside the body frame. So it's more than a very narrow isolation. It's a little bigger. Now the next movement, now if you put these two together, you're gonna get something like that: figure 8, undulate down, figure 8, undulate, figure 8, undulate, up, 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 down, up, down, up, roll, up, roll, up, roll, up, roll. All right? You can do just this movement. This is beautiful by itself, and it's more accessible, I think. And then you can add arms to this one. So up, roll, up, roll, up, roll, up, roll, up, up, up. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move on and add to it. What I'm gonna add now is a scoop back, and this is a hip circle on one side. I have a tutorial on hip circles on one side. So we're gonna scoop back and all the way to midline and up. Yeah, scoop back to midline, down and up. So it's not a complete circle. It's not a complete hip circle for what we are doing today. It's only half of the circle. And also notice that I'm gonna bounce my knees a lot. So this is another component that we're adding, is knee bending and extending a little bit, so it's a little bounce here. So we're gonna do a scoop back, come all the way here, and now roll down. Scoop back, roll down, scoop back, undulate. Let's try on the other side. Scoop back, undulate, scoop back and roll, back, roll, back. So see, this part is small now, and I'm gonna expand it by rolling the hip down. And that's the effect that I want to get. This is where all the juiciness is coming from contraction and expansion. All right, let's try a few of these from leg to leg. So we're gonna go back, up, roll down, back, up, roll down, back, up, roll down. Scoop and roll. And notice how I plie here, and I'm more extended here, but I'm coming down knees again. And I plie again for this side. Scoop, plie, down, down. All right? So this is already a little tricky. Of course, you can add arms to this one. You can add arms like big circles from out to in, or you can add one arm at a time. Doesn't matter how you have your hands, facing out, facing in, doesn't matter. Either direction works. Yeah. So try with the arms. Now I'm gonna add one more element to this one. I'm gonna add a twisting forward. Yes. So I'm gonna scoop, I'm gonna plie pretty deep, scoop back. Also when you scoop back, try to get a little pelvis in here. So the emphasis of the scooping back is not this area, although this area is lifted, but it's not here. I mean, it is here, but also make sure that your pelvis is also tucking in a little bit, so you get more contraction here. Yeah, one more time. So I'm gonna go down, I'm scooping back, and I'm also bringing my pelvis in a little bit. These are very fine details of the technique, but once you employ all of them, it's gonna look so grandiose. Really, it's gonna look fabulous, and your hips are gonna be like butter, which we want to do. All right, but it is a matter of practice. So keep practicing this movement, and in time you'll get more hips plasticity, more stretch and flexibility, and also more control of the pelvis. This is very important. The pelvis control is very important to create ooey gooey, juicy movements in the hips. All right, so let's come back to this one. We're gonna start facing forward, square to front, plie, go back, bring the pelvis in a little bit if you can, but now you turn all the way to corner or even sideways if you can. So go do a twist with the hips, but not with the upper body. We want the upper body to stay pretty much in the same frontal position as much as you can. So I'm gonna scoop and bring it forward. Now I'm gonna roll down from here and bring it back to facing front. Yes, so my hip will go from twisting up here, roll down to facing front. One more time. Scoop back, twist, roll down. One more. Scoop back, twist, roll down. Other side. Weight is on this side. This hip will go back and roll up and turn to front, and now you roll down. And as you roll down here with an undulation, you also turn back to facing front. So you're not staying here. You want to come back here so you can start with the other one. Okay? So let's do this part one more time. Back, up, twist, roll. Back, up, twist, roll. All right? Now let's put this together. One hip after the other. I'm gonna start on this side. And plie back and roll. Plie back and roll. Plie and roll. Up and roll. Up and roll. Adding more to it. Now we can embellish the movements with all kind of details. And one way to embellish the movement is to let your foot, your leg trailing the floor. It's actually pretty difficult to do this movement with your feet glued to the floor. You had to let them move a little bit as they want to go. So don't stop them, don't put any brakes. Your feet will want to do all kind of trailing movements on the floor, and that's actually good. It adds more visual elements. So let them go, let them do whatever they want, except that just don't turn the foot in. Yeah, keep the turnout of the leg as much as you can. So with the leg embellishment, it's gonna look like back, up, oops, and down. And I have to remember to do the twisting motion. Yeah. Now one more element that I probably add sometimes, if I remember, is a little adjustment when I transfer the weight from leg to leg, and it's a little, it looks like an accent, but it's not quite, it's just an adjustment, and it adds a little bit more dimension. So if I'm gonna show it, see, I'm gonna play a little deeper. I don't know if you noticed that. It's just a little adjustment when I switch the weight from leg to leg and I correct my body to face front. Maybe I don't get it all the time. Sometimes you'll see it. But this becomes really another level. It's really an advanced movement to create it so smoothly and continuous and flowy as it should be. And now you can add the arms. You can add simple arms, just out and in, or one at a time. These are just circles, yeah, one arm. When you raise the arm, make sure that this is extended. In general, we want this part extended, except maybe for ballet or other styles when this can be bent in the elbow. But in general, make sure that you practice with the arms extended. All right, dancers. I will put some music on and let's practice this a few times with music. So let's try this on music. Okay, dancers, I hope you will practice this a few more times and go over this video maybe a few times. Also review some of the fundamental movements that you need to get this going. Also try the arms, very important to add arms. And yeah, keep practicing. I'll continue with some juicy hip movements in the next videos. Thank you so much for watching and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. And I'll see you next time. Until next time, shimmy shimmy.